I always felt like I never belonged, not in this pack and definitely not in the family I was placed with. I was orphaned at birth. My mother died giving birth to me, and my father soon after. Alpha Joe handed me off like an unwanted gift to Amma and Vargos. For a while, they treated me like their own. Until I was 7 and Amma's belly began to swell with new life. Then the world shifted. The arms that once cradled me grew cold.
Narayan! It's 5 in the damn morning! Get your useless self moving!
I closed my eyes and breathed deep. Today was different. Tonight, under the moonlight, my dormant wolf gene will awaken and I'll finally become a full-fledged werewolf. Once I shift, I can leave Amma's house and start saving to finally get out of Kragnon. A small, secret smile tugged at my lips. I'd been waiting for this moment my whole life. I rose stiffly from my pile of clothes. There she was, leaning over the railing like a queen surveying her dirty peasant. Sorry.
Sorry? You should be. Living off our kindness all these years, the least you could do is pick up more slack. It's the weekend.
I swallowed the bitter rage clawing up my throat. More slack? What more could I possibly do that wasn't already dumped on my shoulders? I clenched my fists until my knuckles shook. Just a few more hours, I reminded myself. I woke Levian to get his laundry. He shoved 2 overflowing baskets into my arms and threw a duvet at the back of my head before slamming the door. Downstairs, Amma was sipping coffee and reading a fashion magazine.
The washing machine's broken. Peter can fix it later. Take the laundry down to the river bend and wash it by hand. Oh, and grab your father's and my laundry too.
I tripped and grabbed the counter, accidentally knocking a plate to the floor. Amma's palm collided with my face, knocking me backwards into the fridge. I saw stars, and tears spilled from my eyes.
You stupid little bitch! That was a vintage plate! Sorry doesn't fix your stupidity. Useless girl! You're nothing but a migraine!
I stayed silent, letting the insults rain down until she stormed off. Then I heaved the heavy bags onto my back and stumbled toward the river bend, where there was less chance of anyone seeing me like this. By the time I made it back, the sun was retreating. I heard Alpha Joe's voice inside. I pushed open the door, and every head at the dining table turned toward me. Amma sweetly told a lie, saying that I went to wash clothes by the river because I complained the washing machine hadn't gotten them clean enough.
Nareen, I've been waiting for you. It's custom for the Alpha to bless you on your birthday and pray that Arena's spirit sees you through your transformation from man to beast.
I blinked, stunned. I took a single spoonful of pasta at dinner. My parents hadn't. Suddenly, heat exploded under my skin. I doubled over, gasping.
Get out.
I took a deep breath through the pain and stumbled out the door. The storm howled, and rain pounded down. My bones snapped and elongated painfully slow, my spine twisting at odd angles. I laid there crying, powerless. After an eternity, the pain faded, and I staggered up panting. I looked down, and my white fur shimmered under the rain, with champagne-hued, burnished golden tips. I howled wildly to the red moon, brimming with happiness, and turned back toward the others. Monster. They froze and stared as if I had 2 heads, then flinched when I stepped forward. In a puddle, I saw my huge reflection with a third eye on my forehead, black socket and golden iris, and my main eyes blazing red. Darkness swallowed me whole. 3 years later, there were no windows or clocks, no way to tell day from night. Tobias's boots echoed through the rotten corridor. He tossed a tray beside me.
Oh, you still ain't dead yet? You're one strong little bitch. It's been 3 years, can you believe it? This pit stinks worse than a rotting sewer. Last time I'm coming down here, mark my word.
3 years. The words slithered into my mind like a poison dagger, but I felt nothing. Had it really been that long? I stared up at the cracked ceiling, tracing the spiderweb of fractures again and again. Every split had been memorized long ago. I had been rotting in this dungeon long enough for the ceiling to become more familiar than faces I once loved. They tried to get rid of me, but my cursed body healed relentlessly. They turned to silver, searing it into my flesh and leaving a map of scars. Joe was the worst. He peeled my skin back layer by layer, probing for the monster he swore lurked beneath. He would let me shriek until my lips cracked and my stomach twisted, then dangle a single drop of water in front of me.
Shift. Show me what you really are.
But I was too weak to summon the beast he so feared. I had screamed for death, begged for it in hoary sobs, but even death found me repulsive, leaving me trapped in this decaying shell. When I turned my head and saw the tray, a jolt struck my half-dead nerves. The cell door was ajar, unlocked. Tobias, lazy, careless. Tobias hadn't locked it. A strange, foreign sensation stirred in my hollow chest. Hope. But I crushed it hard. Even if I escaped, where would I go in this state? Skin stretched over brittle bones, not even remembering my own face. I clenched my jaw. If I must die, then let it be under the sky, with the wind on my skin and the stars bearing witness. Not rotting away nameless in this tomb. I forced my skeletal frame to move and dragged myself across the threshold. I didn't remember how I stumbled through the night, only the scent, honeysuckle and sun-warmed cedar, cutting through the rot like a blade. Then a pair of warm arms caught my crumbling body. When my eyes fluttered open again, there was no cracked ceiling. Above me were intricate carvings kissed with gold and silver, a chandelier glowing softly. The bed beneath me was impossibly soft, silk curtains swaying at its corners. Was I dead? Was this heaven or hell dressed in beautiful lies? I tried to move, but my limbs trembled violently. My hands were clean and pale, nearly translucent. I was dressed in a large hoodie. The grime I'd worn like a second skin was gone.
You're awake.
I flinched and snapped my gaze toward the voice. He was the most beautiful man I'd ever seen. He stood at the foot of the bed, arms crossed over a broad chest, warm brown eyes framed by thick, dark lashes.
How are you feeling?
That voice was like thunder wrapped in silk. I wanted to speak, but only a weak gasp escaped. When he reached out a hand, I threw my arms up to shield my face, bracing for the blow I knew would come.
I don't want to hurt you. I would never hurt you, Imsireli.
I peeked through my arms. He had lowered his hand and wore a sad smile. He introduced himself as Sargus, the ruthless, untouchable Lycan King. He said I was in the palace of Karagnir, that he had found me on Snow Wolf territory. This had to be a hallucination. How could someone as broken as I am be in the palace? In the king's bed. I tried to pinch myself awake, but there was no flesh to grip. So I scooted toward the edge, intending to fall and wake up. The next second, I crashed into a solid chest. His heartbeat thudded against my ear. I looked up into those warm eyes that could melt the fiercest ice. But warmth was always a lie. I pushed weakly, but he simply laid me back on the bed. Then he pulled out a phone and issued a steady command.
Royal physician. My room.
He was summoning an entire medical team.
This is all my fault. I'm sorry I didn't find you sooner.
He dropped his head onto my lap, his broad shoulders trembling slightly. I froze. Why would a king grieve over me? A knock sounded, and a group in teal scrubs filed in, bowing in unison. That was what they called him.
Supreme Alpha.
And I sat there, trembling, utterly bewildered. What the actual fuck was happening? They wanted to examine me. I curled into a ball, pressing my palms over my ears, rocking back and forth. Don't touch me. Please, no. The man called Sargus sat on the edge of the bed, his voice low.
I promise you, Imsireli, nobody here is going to hurt you. They won't touch you in any way you're uncomfortable with. I swear on my title and my life.
I looked at him. There was a burning sincerity in those eyes. Slowly, my hands slid down from my ears. I nodded. The physician Maravek approached cautiously, like handling a frightened fawn. He measured my vitals, my height and weight, his brown deepening. When he gestured for me to open my mouth, a foul stench filled the room, and I saw Sargus's knuckles turn white. They asked questions, and I answered with nods, shakes, or fingers. 3 years since I last spoke. 21. I was 21. Finally, they handed me a notepad and pen to write my name. My hand trembled so badly the letters came out crooked.
Nino? Or maybe Maka?
The physician guessed twice and was wrong both times. Sargus impatiently snatched the note and squinted at it.
Nareen.
I nodded.
Nareen.
He pronounced that name like a sacred vow. Everyone left, and the door clicked shut behind them. Silence wrapped around me again, my oldest best friend. I looked around the massive room. High vaulted ceilings, polished stone walls, a bed big enough for 5. It was too surreal. I was in the Lycan King's palace. In his bed. Under his care. Why? What did he want? No one ever gave without wanting something in return, especially not for someone like me. A knock came, and a dark-haired woman entered, fox-like eyes smiling. She introduced herself as Hasmik, my lady-in-waiting. She brought an iPad and a wireless bell. Would you like to stay resting in bed? Or would you love to watch the sun? It's beautiful from the balcony. The sun. That word struck me like a jolt to the chest. I pointed weakly toward the window. She smiled and helped me up, letting me lean on her as we shuffled step by step towards the large glass doors. The door slid open, and sunlight flooded in. The first ray hit my face. I froze. The warmth was so foreigner it almost hurt. I closed my eyes and breathed it in, letting it soak into my bones. I had forgotten how the sun felt. Hasmik helped me sink into a giant beanbag that swallowed me whole. The sky was a tender blue, clouds drifting slowly. A breeze kissed my matted hair. I don't know how long I sat there. Maybe I fell asleep. When I opened my eyes again, the sky was painted amber and rose gold, a wool blanket wrapped around me. Then I met those warm brown eyes. Sargus standing by the railing, silently watching me.
You seem so comfortable sleeping. I didn't have the heart to disturb you. It's getting windy. I should get you inside so you don't catch a cold.
Before I could react, I was weightless in his arms. My face pressed against his chest, his steady heartbeat thudding in my ear. I froze, but he just smiled, as if carrying women was part of his daily routine. He laid me back on the bed, tucked the duvet around me, and then turned for the door, leaving my heart hammering like a drum. The door clicked shut behind him. I curled up alone in that too soft bed, my heart still pounding. When he carried me back from the balcony, his arms had been steady as stone, as if I weighed nothing. I burrowed deeper into his hoodie. That scent, cedar and honeysuckle, had soaked into the fabric. I hated to admit it reminded me of something distant called safety. Outside, moonlight silvered the gardens. I stared at it, asking myself over and over, who was I to be held in a king's hands? The answer came as cold as moonlight. I was not worthy. The physician Maravek's words echoed in my head. Severe malnutrition, dehydration, post-traumatic stress. My teeth had rotted from neglect. If I were human, he had said, I would already be dead. It was the cursed wolf blood that had kept me alive. The blood that made me a monster. I touched the crescent and spiral mark on my forehead. It always throbbed faintly. I closed my eyes, trying to piece together what that man, Sargis, could possibly see in me. A mute ghost, a skeletal wreck, a three-eyed abomination. Sooner or later, he would see the truth and throw me back into the abyss. 30 sunrises and sunsets passed. I was trapped in this gilded dream, receiving IV drips, dental repairs, nutritional supplements day after day. Flesh slowly returned to my frame, and my skin grew less translucent. Hazmak became my shadow. She never pushed, never overstepped, simply offering a hand when needed. She reminded me of something I had never possessed, a sister. And Sargis slept on the sofa. Every single day. Whenever I woke, he was either reading or watching me like a puzzle he couldn't solve. His gaze was too intense and I could never meet it. I woke earlier than usual today. Dawn had not yet broken and the room was empty. I didn't want to wait for Hazmak to help me with everything like a parasite. I pulled the IV needle out, wincing at the sting, but I didn't stop. The bathroom was gilded magnificence. The mirror showed a face still pale, but no longer hollow-eyed. I stared at the brand on my forehead, trying to recall when it appeared, but memory offered only black holes. I picked up scissors and began cutting away the matted knots. Platinum strands fell around my feet, snip after snip, until my head felt as light as if 3 years of weight had been lifted. Hot water poured from the shower head, steam billowing. I closed my eyes and let the stream wash over every inch of skin. It was the first time I truly bathed myself. The scent of soap drowned out the memory of rot. I touched every inch of skin, as if getting to know my body for the first time. After the shower, wrapped in a blue robe, I found myself standing before the mirror again. I took a deep breath and let the robe fall. Then I saw them scars, covering my body like dried up riverbeds. The most horrifying one snaked from my lower abdomen to just beneath my left breast. The skin was tight and shiny, as if it still had a pulsacy. Joe. He had dragged a silver-coated blade up my stomach, slow as if savoring a delicacy. The sizzle of silver on flesh, the iron tang of blood, his humming, my screams. The door burst open. Sargis rushed in, then froze. His gaze landed on me for only a heartbeat before jerking away as if scolded, the back of his neck flushing red.
I saw her body, which made me uncontrollably think of some blush-endearing images.
I'm sorry. I didn't think before barging in. Your heartbeat. I thought, shit. I'm so sorry. Are you okay? Why are you crying?
Only then did I realize I was curled naked on the floor, tears streaming down my face. I scrambled to pull the robe around me, heart hammering. He kept his back to me, shoulders rigid.
Put some clothes on, I'll be outside.
He practically fled. I sat there for a moment, then pulled on another of his white shirt and burrowed under the covers. He stood by the window for a long time before slowly returning. I lay in bed with my back to him. His voice came from behind, low and careful, like taming a deer ready to bolt.
You've been cooped up in here for a month. If you want, we can stroll through the palace gardens. The lilies just bloomed. Maravik says you can start on solid foods.
I didn't respond. He held out the tablet and asked if there was anything I craved. I stared at the flowing screen as if it were an alien artifact. But eventually, I took it. He showed me how it worked, his fingers careful never to touch mine. I typed, then turned the screen toward him.
What do you mean? What do I want?
I snatched it back, typed furiously, and flipped it again. I need answers. Why was I brought here? Why am I in your bed? Why all this excessive care? Why waste resources on someone you don't even know? He fell silent. The air grew heavy as red.
That's because you're my mate, Cyrili.
Mate? Me? His? The eternally bound, soul-deep lichen mate cursed by Arena? Absurd. I was a three-eyed monster. He couldn't be serious. There had to be a mistake. A defective thing cast aside by everyone. He couldn't be serious. This had to be another cruel trap. I couldn't believe him. The moment he saw my true form, he would revile me like everyone else. I had to leave. Before he discovered the truth, before those gentle looks turned to disgust, I had to escape. But I was too weak right now. I needed time to regain my strength, to earn his trust, to find an opening. The garden. He mentioned the garden. There had to be a way out from there. I forced my breathing to steady, picked up the tablet, and typed my reply one letter at a time. Banana. He stared for a full 3 seconds, then his handsome face split into a smile I had never seen. Pure, bright, utterly relieved.
The freshest bananas should be immediately brought to my quarters.
Soon, Hazmeek rushed in with an armload of bananas, her eyes glistening. She peeled one and offered it to me with a joy as if I had just asked for the crown itself. I took the first bite. The sweetness exploded on my tongue, foreign and overwhelming. I couldn't remember bananas ever tasting this good. One after another, I couldn't stop. I heard his low chuckle.
You're going to turn into a banana at this rate?
I paused, looked up at him, and gave him the faintest, most unexpected eye roll. His laughter grew louder. In that moment, something cold in my chest seemed to crack.
I'm Sorelli meant my beloved in old Cragnook.
He said it with such tenderness that I had to look away. I didn't deserve to be looked at like that. After the bananas were gone, he sat quietly on the sofa and told me about Arena's curse. How lichens were punished for their arrogance, bound eternally to one person, heart and soul intertwined until death.
I don't care about the curse. All I know is that when I found you, here...
He pointed to his chest.
The place that had been empty for 23 years suddenly felt full.
I clutched the sheets. His words were honeyed, but I had tasted too much poison wrapped in honey. I picked up the tablet and typed with trembling fingers. I don't want to be your mate. His smile didn't disappear. It just softened into something sad, like a flame dampered by rain.
I know, and I won't force anything on you, Noreen. Ever. But I also won't lie to you. You're not just anyone to me. You're the only one that's ever silenced the monster inside me.
He left after those words, leaving me alone with the silence. I looked toward the balcony. The sky was vast, and I was in a cage. No, I would be no one's prisoner anymore. I would grow strong, exact my revenge, and then be truly free. I walked to the balcony, slid the door open, and cold wind hit my face. I stared at the abyss beyond the railing. One step, and all the pain would end. I climbed onto the railing and spread my arms.
Narian, please don't do that!
I whipped my head around, my foot slipped, then the world flipped, and I fell into the void. A hand clamped around my wrist. I dangled in midair, looking up to see Sargus half over the railing, one hand gripping the edge, the other holding me with desperate strength. His face was contorted with strain, veins bulging, but what burned in his eyes was not anger. It was pure, unadulterated terror.
Hold on, Narian. Just hold on!
With a guttural roar, he hauled us both back over the railing inch by agonizing inch. We tumbled onto the cold tiles. I sprawled across his chest, his heart humming wildly against my ear. He sat up, gripping my shoulders, his voice raw and shaky.
You okay? I know I'll never fully understand what you've been through, but taking your life is not an option. Do you hear me? If something is too heavy for you, let me carry it. I'll burn this entire world to ashes for you. Just say the word. You have no idea the power you hold over me, Imsirelli. Please, don't ever try to do that again.
I froze. He was kneeling before me, the supreme Lycan king, his voice laced with raw pleading. Not anger, not reproach, fear. Fear of losing me. I looked down and saw the wound from the IV still bleeding on my hand. He followed my gaze and then gently lifted my hand.
Let me help you clean this.
He fetched the first aid kit and knelt on one knee at my feet. His touch was exquisitely careful, as if I were the most fragile porcelain on earth. I watched his profile, which seemed almost reverent. Something hard inside my chest quietly gave way. He applied a bandage, then stood and fetched a steam mop. My eyes widened as the Lycan King rolled up his sleeves and began personally cleaning the blood off the floor. His forearms flexed with each movement, veins tracing intricate paths. I tore my gaze away, cheeks burning. Damn it, what was I thinking? This man had just saved my life, and I was oogling his arms? I buried myself under the covers and feigned sleep. The hum of the steam mop was an odd lullaby. After a while, I heard him set it down and quietly settle back onto the sofa. I didn't sleep that night. Not from fear, but from a strange, unnameable flutter. He said I had power over him. But what power could a broken, mute wreck like me possibly hold? 2 months passed. My body recovered rapidly. I could keep down most solid foods and had even gained a little weight in my cheeks. But my wolf remained dormant. Maravek said it would take a few more months. I didn't plan to wait that long. I had to leave. Sargish's tenderness was a net drawing tighter each day, and I feared drowning in it. I couldn't. I had a revenge to fulfill. Today, the opportunity came. I picked up the tablet and typed. I remember you once offered to take me to the garden. Does that offer still stand? He read the screen, and his lips curved slowly into a smile that could melt ice.
Of course it does.
Sargish's smile bloomed like the first breath of spring. He led me through the palace corridors, and I stepped into the moving iron box called an elevator for the first time. When the floor trembled, fear gripped my throat. I threw myself into his arms, clinging to his waist. His chest rumbled. He was laughing.
This way, Lady Koala.
I followed him past towering columns. 2 obsidian-carved lichen thrones loomed at the far end. The ceiling stole my breath, and guards stood like statues. For the first time, I understood with absolute clarity. He was a king.
This is the Palace Ballroom. We host royal events, meetings, celebrations, and official matters here.
I stared at the thrones, my skin pricking. He could snap my neck with a flick of his wrist. Yet I slept in his bed, wore his clothes, ate his candy. The thought of escape lodged in my mind like a thorn. Guards pushed open a heavy oak and iron door, and sunlight spilled in like it had been waiting for centuries. I saw a black luxury car parked in the courtyard. Sargish opened the door for me himself. I got in, and he slid in beside me.
Here, you can munch on it while we make our way there.
I took it, tore it open, and shoved a handful into my mouth. The sweetness melted on my tongue. He kept watching me. When I looked up, he quickly averted his eyes and pretended to study the scenery. The garden was called Valariad, an arched stone gate twilled with vines, the scent thick as a liquid dream. I stepped in and was swallowed by blooms, birds of paradise, bleeding hearts, ghost orchids, and a bush of silver roses.
They're called moonlit Etel roses. They grow nowhere else in the world.
They're used in every major royal event. Mating ceremonies, coronations, presentations of heirs, even funeral rites.
I crouched before the roses, afraid to touch them. The petals were true silver, like melted starlight trapped in delicate folds. I didn't know how long I crouched there until my legs cramped. When I stood, I saw Sargus sitting cross-legged on a hanging chair, hand to his head, grinning without guard.
This has always been my favorite place to escape. Even when I was a kid. Whenever I had a fight with my parents or just needed to disappear, I came
I listened, and the corner of my lips twitched upward against my will. I wiped it away immediately. I had no business smiling at him.
You're so beautiful. Has anyone ever told you that?
I froze. No one, never. Something warm and dangerous swelled in my chest. I had to crush it. I shot to my feet, desperate to flee this tender trap. My heel caught the fountain's edge, and I tilted backward. Arms banded around my waist and pulled me against a solid chest. I looked up in panic, just as his face angled down. Our lips touched. Then memory surged like black tide. Joe's hands, Joe's laughter, Joe's weight pinning me down. I screamed and shoved him away, collapsing to the ground, scrubbing frantically at my lips. I heard myself begging hoarsely, but the name I cried was Joe's.